There is a report about the future of the head coach of the San Antonio Spurs, and he may be closer to retirement than expected. Here is what the report says, quote, "Few in his orbit expect Popovich to coach the Spurs beyond the 2020 Summer Olympics. And there's always the possibility that he could spend the 1920 season traveling the NBA and globe preparing for his national team duties." That was reported by Woj.
Bombs.
This is interesting to me, and this is relevant. There's obviously an impending meeting between Kawhi Leonard and Gregg Popovich. And now that we have this report from Woj, this isn't, from like some little corner of the internet. This is from the Woj. Do you think this will affect whether or not Kawhi Leonard is interested in staying with the San Antonio Spurs?
Everything is going to have a cause and effect. I mean, he's making a decision on his basketball career. Here's a guy that's been a champion, a finals MVP, only played 9 games this year, felt like he was misdiagnosed by the team, wasn't necessarily seeing eye to eye, wasn't as present as you would have hoped he would have been, in particular to watch his team play in the playoffs. So they have some repairing to do to the relationship, regardless of whether that happens this offseason and or in the future, because they have a legacy at play. That Spurs organization has done a lot for Kawhi.
When is this meeting going to happen? Like, if I'm the Spurs, I'm having this meeting as soon as possible. Like, what else are the Spurs and Kawhi Leonard doing that's more important than having this meeting?
And for Pop, respectfully, he's been doing this 2 decades. He's been the leader of what's happened over there. A 5-time champion, helped nurture Kawhi into the player he is, dealt with the tragedy of losing his wife throughout these playoffs. He, of course, is not going to do it every year. So, but we have to trust that the San Antonio Spurs will have a plan in effect for him deciding to leave. It's not going to just be like, oh, he walks away and they're surprised. So if you're Kawhi, you're asking about Pop, true enough. But you're trusting in the Spurs that whoever they're grooming to be next in line is going to be somebody that you support.
Do you think that this gets brought up at this meeting?
Of course it does.
Is there wine at this meeting? Because we know that Popovich loves his vino.
There won't be wine at this meeting.
There won't be wine at this one. Too important?
Yeah, there won't be wine.
Not a ceremonial glass?
No.
Oh, this is like in an office.
Yes.
Like, would you like a glass of water, Mr. Leonard?
Yes. There's going to be one of these long tables with 8 people sitting in the room. Everybody got water and tea.
There'll be an
and
agenda.
People getting up, getting coffee.
Snacks.
It's going to be like that.
It's not going to be wine. It's not going to be Mark Cuban at the club.
No.
None of that?
No.
Do you think Kawhi re-signs with the Spurs?
I hope so, but I don't think so.
Interesting. Well, guess what?
I hope so.
We just might happen to have some unfounded, irresponsible speculation about free-agent Kawhi Leonard.
Can I just say something about the term free agent real quick?
Stole from Bill Simmons.
He's the podfather. He's the author of this show. We used that term 3 times and shouted them every time. But now it's like rap lyrics.
It's over.
They're in the atmosphere now.
Well, Woj also had some reports about Kawhi Leonard. He reported that the Celtics made a play for Kawhi at the trade deadline. They put a package out there. The package was not obviously rejected, but it was also not countered. So that happened. And there are reports that the 76ers and the Lakers are currently interested in putting together a package for Kawhi Leonard. When I just asked you if you think Kawhi is going to stay, you said you hoped he would. You don't think he will. Interesting. Why do you think he will leave and where do you think he will end up?
Well, what's fascinating for me working in this industry is when I see that there are only 4 teams interested in Kawhi Leonard. You mean all teams?
It is one of those things. It's like he's one of the top 3. He's one of the top 3 players in the NBA.
So is
Let's not
Danny
forget.
Ainge the only person doing his job and just saying, hey,
why not?
You want to trade Kawhi?
Look at Tatum.
I mean,
hey,
hey,
we got 4 picks next year.
So you mean to tell me that all the other teams didn't do that? No, but in all honesty, in picking his next destination, there's going to be a lot at play because he doesn't truly control his destiny.
He is not a free agent,
Correct.
as that graphic said. He's very much under contract to play with the Spurs this year.
And I do remember Paul George wanted to get moved to the Lakers. Paul George got moved to the Thunder. He started to like it being in OKC to the point, in my opinion, he's going to resign there. So now you do the same thing. If I'm a GM and I feel like I have a really good culture, 1 or 2 players that would mesh well with Kawhi, I would trade for him.
Of course.
No question about it.
Who wouldn't want Kawhi Leonard?
Without a promise of extension is the part I left off.
Oh.
Because Paul George didn't give that to OKC.
No, he didn't.
Which they could still lose him.
Of course. Now here's a question. What team right now do you think that Kawhi Leonard could end up on? was most likely?
It's really too hard to determine. It truly is. I'm just going to throw a wild card out there.
Please do.
New York Knicks.
Oh, the New York Knicks. Huh. You think Coach Fizz is going to draw some players to the Knickerbockers?
I do. And
love
if you're the
this.
Spurs, you're not trading him in the West. You're going to help somebody build a super team. They way too smart for that. They ain't going to do what the Cleveland Cavaliers did and trade Kyrie to the Celtics. You're supposed to trade Kyrie to Siberia. You're supposed to trade him to Boston.